They say, you know you are my world. Come back home, you're the one who loved you more and more. So you see that it was me you were searching for. You're searching for.
All your team, get your people in.
Come back to me.
People are moving it. Dr. Inez is moving it. Where are your cameras, guys? Let's see your cameras. I don't know if y'all know how to have fun. I don't know if you're just bored entrepreneurs with nothing to do. Dr. Inez knows how to have fun. Come on, come on. Cameras on. Hey,
so in love with you. We were so close for a season of my life.
there it is, Ed. There it is. Keep it going. Keep it going. Dance it on in.
I had to leave you, and that's where my heartache began. Heartache began.
I like it, Dr. Inez. Oh, Sheila. Oh, Barbara. Old school is about to be new school. Emily, camera on. Let's go. Let's go. There it is, Dr. Andrea. Let's go. Let's go. Cameras on. Cameras on. While we're waiting on people. There's Jimmy. There he is, Jimmy. I was about to say, what is happening in this house?
I can't remember the first time we ever met. The sun was shining, love was screaming in the air. I took you in and
Let's go.
all your tears away. I gave you loving more than any other gave. And something changed, season came to
Keep it moving. I'm inviting people. I don't know who you're inviting. Get it, Dr. Andrea. I'm feeling you feeling it. Lorna, camera on, everybody. Let's go, Melanie. We gotta dance this all the way out. Hi. Let me see you all. I mean, we're winning right here because I don't know if y'all know this room, right? Act a little more enthusiastic. How's that movie fit? Alora's always ready. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Alora's always ready to move that music. Back the blue eyeshadow, right? You want to do that, Barbara? I'll bring back the leg warmers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Give it up, give it up, give it up. I know you see the pretty Stevie B in the room. Earlier, I said you look so good. He was like, you're talking about me, right? No one else. I'm the most beautiful in the room. He's all right. But before we bring him up, I know you're ready. Before we bring him up, let's take a couple of wins. We've got about 5 minutes of wins. 5 minutes of wins. Come on, camera. Get visible. Be bold. Yes, Abigail.
I got so many wins. First of all, my camera's on. Oh my gosh, figured that out. You know, 73-year-old, most people my age don't like tech, and I'm stepping through this thing because it will not beat us. We can do this.
Yeah, there we go.
I
There we
have
go.
I have my first freebie download because of my association with Michelle DeKaiser and the DIVA Network. Y'all have pushed me and caused me to step out and get clarity and actually see a finished product that I can give away to other people to help share my message. And because of what I'm getting here, the Lord led me yesterday to go buy 5 domains, see God's word.net, because I already had .com. He had me buy .net, .uk, dot Africa, dot. I bought 5 of them. I bought 5 of them because we're taking this global.
You
There
got a
we
lot
go.
of you got a lot of
My
dots. You got a
gosh.
lot of dots you got to work with.
We
I
got a
can tell
lot
you
of
that.
dots because people are going to want to try to go and duplicate what I'm doing. And he
And
said, go
let
get the
them,
domains.
because whenever you are favored and you are moving, you're an innovator, you're not in scarcity, you are moving, you are 73, and the best is yet to come. I love it, Abigail. I love it. Let's
We're getting a
go.
teenager up in here.
Yeah.
There you go, baby.
All right, Alora, give us your win.
Okay, well, I think I already said that Marita and I had an amazing night at my house. That was amazing, and we're doing more on Sunday. We're starting to gather women. I have 2 guests coming to the Miami event, and one of them I have to send something to you, my dear Adora, because she wants to offer a wind dancing catamaran sail Wednesday afterwards to decompress. And so I want to talk to you about that and get your approval. They made a flyer, but I won't post it till I talk to you. So it would be really
Awesome,
fun.
awesome. Sheila, put Christine and Alora together because
Alora needs to push her screen back a little bit.
there we go. Stevie B's giving
Yeah, push her
coaching.
screen back. There you
Sorry.
go. Put her face in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There
I
you
forgot
go.
to watch me.
I wanted to see that beautiful face. Come on.
Thank
Come
you.
on, come on. All right, so you're saying after the press party where we have FUBU TV and all of our celebrities, you want an additional day where you have a catamaran, wind dancing, and people who want to go can go with you. So Sheila will put you into conversation with Christine, who's running show there in Florida. But welcome. I would say a win is Stevie B just said, let me see your pretty face. Let me see your beautiful face. All right. Let's go. Only here at the Diva Network. Okay, let's one more. We've got time for 2 minutes of wins. And I know that you all know that when we stack our wins, we train that neuro pathway to know the truth of who we are, which we're always winning if we're willing to perceive it, right? And when you start stacking those wins, it gets momentum in your life and you attract what you are. So when you celebrate the winner that you attract more wins. All right, here we go, Dr. Andrea and Ed, and then we'll transition over.
All right, very quickly. I just feel that one of the best wins from yesterday, it was the leadership meeting with Jimmy. He shared so much with us and gave us, some ideas of how to do, how to procedure, how to find solutions. And it's just a great win. Thank you, Jimmy. I love you. Thank you.
Jimmy's not on camera to receive that, but
He's here.
I know he's here, but oh, there he is. You moved. There we go. Okay. Ed, he is on camera. I should know better. Yes, Ed, good to see you.
You too. Yeah, my win is just being back on the call. I was traveling last week and then volunteer on Fridays at a disabled veterans gym and then the activities of the weekend and then overbooked from the time change yesterday. I've been missing my Diva Network, so I'm thankful to be back on call today, and I'm looking forward to connecting and soaking in what we got going on.
Ed, so I have a win. As you all know, we were with the Divas in Vegas, the core Divas, and we were with a group of 22 family office owners that were looking at investing and collaborating with Dining Empire and the Diva Network. There were 4 different men that stood up and said, I want to be a diva at the beginning of their presentation, which was awesome. And the collaboration in the room that we showed up with as divas, so many people came up, and we closed out that big fund for there was a big collection, not just us, but other companies. And we had people going, we're going to bring you to Belize and you're going to experience soursop. Bring the divas to Belize, bring the divas on our yachts here and there and everywhere. And we always take you with us, and we invite so it's just really, really good. I could say so much about that, but it was very confirming to step outside of our circle and to learn that we 1111 here in Texas, we are in convergence, there were lots of people in there going, how do you converge and move the business where it's going, which is blockchain, crypto, decentralization. And they were so excited to know that we at the Diva Network have embraced and are at the front of convergence with a network of women and our allies that are absolutely committed to the rise of the planet through our vision of entrepreneurship and all the other nonprofit initiatives represented here. So that was exciting, very exciting to have billionaires go, yeah, I want to do this thing with you. Yes, Jimmy.
So I just want to echo something and make sure that we really put a pin in this. That meeting was with real investors, family office type of investors. And so if any of you know what that means, like I've had the fortunate opportunity to work with Kevin Harrington personally. And so this is another level of wealth, right? And for them to be able to say and get behind and feel like the Dining Empire and the Diva Network was like one of the best opportunities there. Guys, we are headed in the right direction. And so today, I'm so honored. I'm just going to throw this in there real quick. When I first met Stevie B, and kudos to Felix for introducing him to us, Stevie B was already in blockchain smart contracts, putting together some amazing things because he saw the value and how it's going to help people in his industry. And so I'm telling you, like, you got to get behind what the dudes are doing, because one of these days in about a year, you'll be waking up, you'll be like, I am so glad I joined that community. They were so far ahead of everybody else. And now it's like mainstream. So I'm telling you, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But it's an honor to be here. Stevie B, we're ready for you. Woo woo. Let's go.
Yes, we are ready. So the song that you heard as we came in, I learned DJs, and we have a Felix Sama who is going to co-lead this with me. So you can spotlight Felix, Stevie, and myself for a little bit, and we'll continue to go in community and out of community so we can see all your faces at one time. We'll make sure we're streaming on all of our platforms now, JKN, if you can confirm that. But we want to dive into, look, all business, just like when I got out of my environment with the family office people, I got out of my environment and hung out with Jimmy, it brought us onto blockchain, right? So it doesn't matter if you're in the music industry or not, success loves other success, right? When you listen to the stories of people, whether they're in your industry or not, of how they succeeded, what they overcame, and what they see right now. And Stevie B is, he's going to blow your mind with how he thinks and how he moves and what he's up to now. If you will let yourself absorb that, proximity is power. You become who you associate with. And right now you have the privilege of associating with an absolute legend that for a while even beat out Whitney Houston on the charts. All right. And so Felix, I know you two are longtime friends. I missed you yesterday. I was flying, but I heard you took care, you guys like really took care of business. I'm so grateful for your friendship. I'm grateful that you're moving into the self-development industry while you continue to hold the space that you hold in music, because truly for us to win as a community, we rise together, we lock arms, we share resources, and there's never been a better time. So what I learned is that people loved the breakdancing opportunity with the melodic tones and the beats that you had, Stevie B. And I'm very excited to get to talk to you again. So welcome to the building, the virtual room, the global community. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Stevie. I'll let you take the floor.
Well, I mean, I'm here amongst some very powerful people, and it's good to get people who are, let's just say, quantum entangled. And this entanglement is pretty deep. And I heard you guys throwing around, I love this 1111 project. And, everybody don't think about it sometimes, but the word 11 really just means L even. So it's really, you're even. That's why it's up like the two towers, the man and the woman. It's the male and the female working together. That's all even. That's why you have 11 and you have S even also. But this 11 project, I love it. And it's something that's going to open the doors for a lot of people that almost can't find the kind of personalities and the kind of opportunities that come with this kind of environment. And Felix knows that I'm involved in putting together a DTC platform, which is direct to consumer. And I was explaining to Danny this morning how fortunate we are to have technologies that are allowing us really creative people to control our destiny almost in every respect. And it's almost unfathomable to think that I can control my creative environment, I can upload it, I can distribute it, I can collect it, I can get the stats, I can broadcast it, radio, TV, I can make a store that talks directly to the consumer, I can bring 100% of everything to me, 360 vision, and I'm the controller and the people that's in my environment. This has been the big problem. And the way the industry had been the last 10 or 15 years, I can tell you, it destroyed. Artists are hungry. They're starving because the way the industry was set up. But just by the mere fact that we can do this, it speaks volumes. And there's a lot more to talk about in the self-development part of this and making people, because there's a true identity crisis going on around the globe right now. And hopefully people like us will get people an opportunity to see exactly who they are. The internet disconnected us, but we're finding a way now to connect people again. This entanglement has to be real, and people have to be able to look in the mirror and say, how am I involved in this world? What makes me something valuable? This has been the big disconnect, because if you don't have followers out there today, they almost make you believe that you're nothing. So we'll resolve that.
We're going to resolve that. And so I want to give a special shout out to Johnny Wimbrey and Eric Swanson, who came into the building last minute. I sent them some messages, come meet Stevie B, and I see they're on. Good to see you, Johnny Wimbrey. So we'll bring you guys up to ask some questions in a few minutes. Great colleagues. Johnny Wimbrey's done a lot in the self-development industry, working with Les Brown and many other people. Last time I saw him, we were attending church at TD Jake's Potter's House with Les Brown. And Eric Swanson, also great platform, does lots of self-development work out there. So awesome. So Stevie, first let's go back to your music career, because you've done, for people who don't know, give them sort of the highlight reel of your music, and then we can talk about how you've taken your rights back, and also how this decentralization, how what you're flipping and turning upside down. And I also know you have some remixes, some new mixes with Felix. Yep. So let's just start a little bit about your career. And Felix, jump in anytime, to ask a question. If you know what our outcomes are, and Stevie B, you guys have been rolling together a while. So Stevie, yeah, give us some highlights.
Well, my career started in Miami, and my first hit was Party of Body. Then it was Dreaming of Love, Spring Love, In My Eyes, I Want to Be the One, Because I Love You, If You Still Love Me, I'll Be By Your Side. I mean, I've had maybe 15 hit records, so we can be here quite some time. But I've been fortunate, but you have to go through the fire. This
Mm.
whole thing is talking about, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but I don't know anybody that I've come across that has not gone through the fire of what this industry puts you through. And if you survived, believe me, you should own the magic wand, because you are the magic wand. So Felix, he knows what's going on the remix side. We have quite a bit of stuff coming. And then, of course, I have Como Tu Te Llama, which is the Spanish version. This is my first time going to enter the Spanish market. So I'll let Felix tell you exactly what we're working on right now.
Yeah, we'll play
Yeah.
some of those. Go ahead, Felix. And
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
talk
be-
about
before
all
we-
that. Yep. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
before we get into that, I think also, Stevie, if you should mention a little bit about Distro World and the reasoning behind Distro World and the advantages it gives music artists, producers to get a bigger percentage of their winnings.
And before you do, I just, as entrepreneurs, I want you to, yes, take in the story, but you're listening through the lens of what does this have to do with your business, how you move, how you think, right? Because even though we're talking very industry specific, there's a disruption in every industry that's happening right now. And
Yes.
this is just confirming, validating, showing one realm of that. So be thinking of your own industry, your own application, your own going through the fire, right? You had to go through a certain fire to still
Yes.
be in business right now. Okay. So stay with me there. And then you're going to get an opportunity to ask questions at the end. So Stevie, you had all this great experience. Let's talk about you taking your rights back, because I think it tees up Distro World really well. Right? Your music rights.
You talk about what had happened and what's been happening since almost the inception of music, art, that kind of thing. There were others that were controlling these rights. A lot of time the creators of this music were poor, or they didn't have any money, and business people came in, they control it. They set up a system that was never going to be fair to the content creators. This proprietary music, writing, arts, we didn't know the business, and there were those who knew the business, and let's just say they were never in our corner to make sure that we got the brunt of whatever financial benefits that came from this. So this carries on into almost any industry. Investors see people with money, see people without money, but normally a lot of our creativity starts in sometimes the most darkest areas, when you're at your lowest and you're at despair. So if anybody is going through despair right now, actually it's a great moment for you, and you just got to know how to deal with that pain. Don't throw the bathwater out with the baby and throw the whole thing out. If you're hurt, it heals. It will heal in time. And at the moment, you don't think it will. So we're talking about really the whole pie. You want completeness. You want to feel good about what you're doing. You want to feel good about how much money you're making, and you want to know how much you're providing for yourself and your family. You want to know how all of these things are going to come together. The problem is it has been dismantled for so long, but right now the convergence is back. And we talked about how the technology is allowing us to see it clearly, how it works. We didn't know how all the mechanisms worked in the music business, in the publishing business, the radio business. Look at us. We're broadcasting ourselves digitally. We're controlling it. I mean, could you imagine this 30 years ago, 40 years ago? This wasn't even possible. So all of these things are now on the table for the one who is intelligent, the one who's got the mind to think you're going to win. And you're talking about the win situations. Look, we want the pie, but the pie is you have to have balance. This whole thing is talking about balance. Male, female, negative, positive, involving others, rewarding yourself. All of these things have to go together. It ties into your business life, your personal life, and in your spiritual life. This is what they don't want to talk about. They want to keep it material, physical. They're going to make a mistake. Again, they're going to keep running in circles. Those of us who see it and that can visualize it and verbalize it, and get people to say, hey, look, it's fine, Stevie B, that you can talk about your stories. It's fine, Stevie B, that you can tell us about all your successes. But how does that entangle with me? Show me how to do this. People want to know. And I can tell them how to do it. I can teach them
Come
how to
on.
do it.
Okay.
I
Well,
can
come
te-
on,
I
tell
can
us.
teach them how to. Well, you got to give somebody else the floor. You got Ed in there. You got Dr. Andrea in there. You got Inez over there. She's jumping out of her skin. You know,
Yeah.
Sheila is jumping out of her skin. Laura is over there. We can see her beautiful face now. Everybody wants to get a chance, and of course, you got Felix, but we got StevieBWorld.com that I'm mounting now. This is a straight DTC. Guys, remember this term, direct to consumer. We're doing it on Facebook. We're doing it on Instagram. We're doing it on TikTok. We're doing it in Spotify. We're doing it in all the DSPs. We're doing it already, but we're dumbasses. We're giving it away for free. That is a problem. I give it to Spotify. I got 1 million people listening on Spotify per month at $10 a head. That's $10 million a month I'm giving to Spotify. Do you know how much of that money they give to me? None. Same thing in YouTube, same thing in Facebook, same thing. They're selling everything about us. We gave it away for free. But guess what's happening now? We're about to take it back. That's what this whole thing is all about. And AI is here to help us. AI are angels. Okay, they call it artificial intelligence. It's not artificial, it's advanced intelligence. That's the key to this. You have to know how to work the advanced. Look at all the big investments right now. Look at over the last week, Larry Ellis from all the big tech companies, they put in billions into AI. You better watch the money. But look at that Stevie B stuff right there. That's beautiful. And if you got a VIP, you get all this content, all of my private concerts, all of my content that I have recorded. I have Stevie B in the studio in 1987 recording Spring Love in My Eyes when I was literally writing it. That is special content that we're going to put up. And this is a site. And go to some of the other pull downs in there. Just go to the media and pull that thing down. Go to media. Okay. And then you can go to anywhere. You can go to the radio station. You can go to the TV station. You can go to the music catalog. Go look how vast that catalog is. That's pretty good stuff. Go back to the media and go to catalog. Look at that. Now scroll that down. You get to get all the Stevie B stuff. The same stuff you can get on Spotify, you can get with me and more. They don't have nearly what I have. And if they'll spend $10 with them, hey, how about spending $5 with me? That's all I'm going to ask. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That's all the Stevie B stuff. And we have our own TV. You can go to the TV station, the radio station, and we have distroworld.com, which is all of those albums will be distributed to any of the media outlets that we decide. But I'm not going to give it to them, guys, if they don't let me in on the subscription money and on the ad money, because there's no way in the world these big investors are spending $100 million, $200 million on a catalog, and they're waiting to get their money back off a 0.003% stream. They know something that everybody else don't know, but I know they're making money off of placements. They're making money off subscriptions. Imagine a person like The Weeknd. Weeknd has what, 50 million people in his Spotify, whatever. 50 million times 10 is what, 500 million? He's bringing Spotify maybe 500 million a month. Do you know what $500 million is? That's a lot of money. But I guarantee he's not getting it. And they'll say, oh, I gave Weeknd 200 million for his catalog. No, it was worth $1 trillion. Because in the investment world, it's 10 times value, right? So if it's 10 times value, that's 500 million or $5 trillion. But we need to know evaluations. We need to know the value of things, and we need to change the scenario. And that's what Stevie B World is going to do.
One thing I want to pop in, Felix, if you could put the link in the chat, because we are going to share these links so you guys can check it out.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
one of my favorite things about our first conversation, Stevie B, is one, that you went and fought to get all of your own rights back, which doesn't happen a lot in music. Okay. So one, we are all aligned on freedom, autonomy, sovereignty, owning our value, right? Second of all, he started thinking through, how do I distribute this so I retain more of my value? And he's able to do that because of what we're helping you all do: understand blockchain, digital currency, value exchange in different ways, which is where the global economy is going, and where now our new president in the US is an absolute stand for. Whether you like him or not, it's where it's going, right? The other thing is that Stevie is, right now we're sharing what he's doing, but he's going to topple this in music in general. Him and Felix together, showing young artists and current artists how to own more of their rights and take back the value that they have put out into the marketplace. So he's not about removing it. You make music because you want it to be heard, but what has happened is the majority of the value has been taken by other big organizations. And so through thinking and leverage of technology and blockchain, they'll be able to put into smart contracts the exchange for music again, so that they own their value. So then again, it could have been just about Stevie B, but I know the bigger picture, which is all musicians, all creatives, all artists getting to flow fairly in the exchange of value and owning the thinking again. So even though he celebrates the angel of AI, it took him thinking, not passively, stopping, being strategic, and thinking. So are you getting the big picture, and then also your own big picture? Because we're part of this big movement that's happening, whether you want it to or not, right? But if you listen, it's a freedom call. It's a sovereignty call. It's an autonomy, the ability to move freely and to exchange value. So Ed, I know you had a question. If you have a question for Stevie B, go ahead and raise your hand. Felix, did you put in the chat the links?
Yeah, it's on
Okay,
there.
awesome. Yes,
Yeah,
Ed.
Stevie B, my question in the chat was, once all this is up and running, you're getting all your content back, does that mean it'll remove it from Spotify and Apple Music to make it exclusive to your site?
No, what I really want to do is have Spotify and all the DSPs negotiate with me correctly, and not just take stuff like YouTube is doing from 100,000 people that don't have a right to put my music up on YouTube. They allow it, and then they turn their heads. They're not allowed to do that, Ed. Who asked that question? That was Ed?
Yeah,
Ed,
that was
yes,
me.
that's who
Okay,
we're
okay, Ed, it's right there. Okay. Ed, what had happened is when the government allowed these digital companies to go online, they didn't have the blockchain secured. That means that everybody that had analog contracts from Belgium, and you used to go to France and you cut your international deals, and they could sell CDs in certain regions and certain areas. That was that. You had an IRC code that protected you. If somebody crossed over to your territory, you can challenge it. What happened when the digital world went online is they didn't have control of who could put stuff up on the internet. Now, all of a sudden, if you got 200 countries or whatever it is, you got 200 different IRC codes going into the system. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, the minute those 200 start to get played, each one of the DSPs has to pay a mechanical royalty. That means when the radio station plays it, they send out a money, no matter what. When each one of these DSPs played that music, and if it was getting played 200,000 or 2 million times a day, the DSPs have an obligation to pay a mechanical royalty. And if it's video, they have to play a different kind of royalty. In the video side, there's 3 different kinds of royalties. People don't even know it. So what happened was this money got stacked up because Spotify was not prepared to pay out, because there was nobody to collect digital royalties. Even though you had BMI, even though you had all these people, now all of a sudden Sound Exchange has to be created. CCOM has to be created. Now the MLC steps in, and people don't know all of these companies are charities. They start off as charities just like OpenAI did with the AI situation. And then they take that free exploration money they got to do all the research, and then they do spinoffs like Ancestry and everybody else. All that information that Ancestry got on the Genome Project, it belongs to us. Yep. But you and I don't know. We can go get it and start our own genome company and our own Ancestry. So they did, and all it is they're APIing the information. API means a connection. When they want some information, they send it to the system, it goes to get it, retrieves it, and comes back. So there's no rocket science to this. Back to the music business, Spotify went online and they don't know who to pay. So that money sits over there and they called it the black box. In that black box could be billions of dollars. It's unfair because nobody was receiving money. And guess who owned Spotify and all the DSPs? It was the record companies themselves that invested in that company. They had a piece of the action. They cut a deal under the back door. They made subscription a part of the revenue stream and ads. But when they cut a contract with the artists, they only cut it on streams alone. 0.3.2.1 divided by 6 to the 5th power. And then now it says you're going to get paid on that. But the record companies out the back door having another meeting, they're making streaming money that they're not sharing with the artists. This is the travesty. Spotify don't know how to pay. They don't know who to pay. The MLC was created, the mechanical royalty people. Guess what? They don't know who to pay either. So they received all this money and created another black box. I have millions of dollars tied up into each one of these companies, and then they make you jump through hurdles to get that money, even if you can identify it, but it don't match, and this match, and it's got 17 different titles. Well, they all belong to me. Well, hey, we are not going to live forever. They got that money. It needs to be challenged. Long story, a little bit longer. Those of us that are on the creative side, we are in the wrong business. We call it the music business. We're in the streaming business. The record companies are in the music business, and they're making all that money. When Spotify stock goes up, they get a piece of that. When Spotify makes 400 million, they divide all that money up, and each one of the artists, writers, producers, engineers, everybody that's supposed to be in that blockchain, they got screwed. And they're getting screwed until Stevie B comes and creates a whole new platform, which I'm doing. Go look at Stevie B World. You're going to see it all come together, all in one. And then you can say, Stevie, how do I get a turnkey situation of that? I don't want to go spend $2 million like you just did. How do I get your platform?
I love it.
Just give me a call. Just give me a call.
This immediately makes me think of the NIL that they're doing now with the high school and college kids, but on a way bigger level, because the music business has been around for so many more years than what they've been talking about compensating these kids. Good for you, Stevie B. I'm proud to see things like this happen. You guys deserve to make the money on the content that you put out. It's your creative genius. You should be compensated for it throughout history.
Yeah, and you guys, I know you all love being your best self. You're all avid learners. At the end, we're going to play a little bit of Stevie B's audio book that's coming out and one of the remixes of Spring Love. But yes, because one of the best ways to learn is through autobiographies, audibles, proximity. The very best is having the man in the room. So thank you, Stevie, for being here. And Felix, so I know you're both going into the self-development arena. I brought two of my friends that have been in that space for over 20 years, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to meet you. And at the the DIVA Network, one of the top things everybody loves and what we amplify is community and connection. Because if a president comes, LA fires come, a war comes, a new AI comes, it's always going to be a person that will open the door for you and show you where to go next to help you get into a safe place, into a thriving place, into the best party, into the best. And so I want to connect you with two of the guys that took the last minute jump on that are very immersed in the self-development space. Felix, so you guys know, Felix has been a very famous DJ in Florida for quite some time. He's worked with some of the top artists, continues to work with some of the top artists, does a great party once a month in Miami. And we're seeing a vision where he's giving self-development principles with turntables on the floor and something new in the industry. And so you definitely want to know him, and you hear what Stevie B is up to in the world now. So Johnny, first, do you have a question or comment?
No, I just want to come on and say thank you so much for having me on Adora. When Adora sends a message last minute, you just show up. Like you just show up because it's Adora. I met Adora back in, I think, 2005. We were both young, very hungry, very driven for success, but also driving success with good people who have a good heart and a good passion to help people. And Adora is one of those individuals that just stands out. She makes things happen. She is a celebrity connector at the very highest level. And I remember that from day one. If I want to get through a door or if I want to meet someone, I'm calling a door. As a matter of fact, one of my dreams was I really wanted to know Dennis Waitley. I wanted just not to speak on stage with him. I wanted to know him. And you're the reason that I do know him. So I'm very grateful for that. Being here with you guys, just listening to legends that are making things happen. Felix, I feel like we've been in the same room together before. If not in the same room, definitely on the same platform somewhere. Very familiar. I got to put that together. And Stevie B, man, shout out to your brother. Your lyrics have been transforming generations for decades and moving people and getting people excited. So thank you for everything that you have done that has reached in. When I heard your music come on, I know my father was about to clean the house, turn everything upside down, start smelling pine saw, and he would mix it in with old school with you. But man, it was just good times, man.
Nice.
Yeah. So listen, if there's a question that I would have to ask, if you could go back in time and do it all over again with the knowledge and the information and the infrastructure that you understand today, how would you, or what would you do different, and what would you teach new artists? Because when you have that carrot that's dangling in front of your face, it's hard to say no. It's hard to even think that you could say no or restructure. But is it, two parts of the question? That's my first part. The second part is, does the music industry respect individuals who negotiate?
First part of that question is, look, if you can stand the pain, look, you're gonna have to cut a shitty deal. It is just literally built like that. It's not built any other way. So if you can tell a young person that is lucky enough to get some attention or whatever they're going to get from a label or investor or whatever it is, it's better really just to say, look, this is not good. They don't say that because the little bit of money that they put, that carrot you're talking about, even though you say, hey, hell is right around the corner. Hell is right around the corner. You can't see the hell. It's just like a father trying to tell a son or a daughter, don't hook up with that guy. He has nothing for you. Look down the road. Don't go into it. So all of us have done it. And I was in a very bad situation because when I really realized what was going on, really was early on. But the problem was I had a hit record. So you have to make a decision. Are you going to kill the hit record, kill your career, or say, I'm going to get P. Diddy'd whether I like it or not, but I got to give credit. At least P. Diddy gave some Vaseline and baby oil to his victims. The record company don't give Vaseline. They don't care. The baby pampers could be dirty. They don't care. So, and horrible analogy, but you're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
The guys are loving it. Just so you know, the men in here, and the women are like, oh.
Well, you call it the DIVA Network. There's a counterpart to the DIVA is a Devo. So, give us some credit. Now we want to be Devos.
We love having you here.
Some of us don't want to be divas, Doris. Some of us
we don't want you to be divas. And Ed Cross actually said you guys are Devos.
Yeah.
So
the other part of Johnny's question was, and a little bit more on this. Look, even if you have to say, I'm going to give the first deal. Don't let it be a long deal. But you better know,
there you go.
you better know it's going to be painful.
Yeah.
But if you can stand doing without it, and then a new scenario is coming online like we're building right now, if they call me, I would show them how to do it out of the box where they can win, win, win. And that little carrot will be just a little, remember they got these little small carrots they sell them on salads? It'll be a small salad. I'll show them the steak, the salad, the cars, and say, hey, look, if you got a hit, because believe me, if they're a real record company and they're interested in you, they know you got something. One thing they do, the radar is very strong amongst them. They know, and then a lot of times, a lot of the young people and even the mid-age people and the older ones like myself, we know how to detect whether we got a record or not that's going to make some noise. When you got program directors calling you back, you see your Instagram page blowing up, your Facebook page blowing up, everything is blowing up, Spotify's blowing up. Well, that's normally a sign that you got something pretty special.
Yeah.
If I can convince that person, be patient, you got a hit record. The problem is they convince you that they know more than what you know. A lot of artists, producers, writers today know more than the record companies, believe it or not. They don't know diddly shit. They're guessing. If you tell me a record company is still getting paid off streams, I know they're not in the business. You see, I know they're not in the business. So to use that call coming in, I don't have on, oh, Jesus.
That's good stuff.
Get out of this. I lost my window. There we go. I think I'm back.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
You're here.
Can y'all still see me? I'm still good?
Yep. All good.
Okay. So if the artist can be patient, that's the bottom line of this. If the artist can be patient, someone can show them to say, hey, you're fixing to make some money. Don't accept crap. Those record companies right now want to be exactly what I'm building. Look at every one of the record companies out. They want to be portals. They want to be distributors. They want to be everything that Facebook is. And the big problem with the record companies, they got on board the digital world too late. iTunes and Apple Music had already taken the whole music business from them. They didn't want to admit that the digital world was coming, and they were stuck in the analog world while all the kids wanted to go where the cool place was. And the cool place wasn't me logging on to Sony Music or Warner Brothers music site and go buy my music. All the cool kids was going to iTunes. So the record companies lost 10 years, 15 years. Now all of a sudden they want to get on board. What did they do? If you can't beat them, you join them. So they started to buy in all the digital companies, and they got themselves in the game. Who's the biggest record company out there today? It's Spotify and all the DSPs. It's not Sony Music. They're not even in the music business anymore, and they haven't been for many, many years. What are they? They're a bank that invests in people. They take advantage. You go into a situation owning 100% and you leave out owning nothing. That is not a good deal.
Wow.
You go in owning 100% of your publishing, your writers, everything that goes along with it, your masters, and you own your performance rights, your merchandise. Now,
Stevie, let me interrupt you real quick.
They take all of it, Johnny.
I gotta say something. I gotta say something, Stevie. I can build an entire course around you based on what you just said. The fact that you can go in owning 100%, like this is my book, Building a Millionaire Mindset. The fact that I own this 100%, but once I did a deal with McGraw-Hill,
right,
then I have to think to myself, how much of this baby do I want to let you hold? And can I trust you with my baby? And will you give my baby back to me? Like what you just said is a voice to every entertainer that's out there, because I don't think people think that way. I own 100% of this when I walk through the door. That is a book, that is a course, that is a weekend boot camp for every entertainer on the planet.
Stevie,
well, another thing, and I have to say, and not only that, even when it's time to pay you, if there were any expenses that were allocated towards the manufacturing, printing, and all that, and let's just say you got a dime, out of the deal. I'll say, okay, I'm going to accept. You're going to get 90 cents. I'm going to get 10 cents, whatever. They charge back your dime for every bit of the cost. They take no risk. They have no investment. So they take every 10 cents. So in order to get $100, you got to get 10,000 sales while they walk away with the 90, and they have no downside ever. And they get to own it at the end of the day. You have no rights. They want exclusivity. They want merchandising rights. They want everything. So I've never seen a place where we go and give what we do it on Facebook all day. I got 1 million people in Facebook that I brought to Facebook. I got 1 million people that I brought to Spotify. Don't you know on Facebook, they charge me a boost price to get to my own people that I gave to them for free.
That's fire right there. That is fire.
Wow.
Well, and
they charge me to get to my own people. Now, what a scam. And they're selling all my data. They're selling the millions of people's data. They're making trillions. That's not even talking millions no more. Millions don't mean diddly. These people are into, if you can give Justin Bieber $300 million for his catalog, don't you know it's worth 10 billion, 100 billion?
Wow.
Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Post Malone, they're generating $1 billion a month.
Stevie and Felix, I want to offline, and everybody watching, because we're always talking about not just networking, but how you maximize your connections and collaborations. It's not about just rolling in, but I want to take this offline because I know, Johnny, your vision for a course, a book, that's the beginning of the funnel, and it monetizes and brings clients and artists and ascends them into the programs that Felix and Stevie are seeing for new artists. So there's a potential collaboration when you bring the best of what you know together. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you that I've known Johnny long enough that it would be a solid one for you guys, Felix and Stevie. And Felix and Stevie, your work speaks for yourself. So we'll take that conversation offline. And as a room, I want you to see how that dialogue goes down, right? You see how it's happening, because it's really, proximity is power. If you think everybody's vision, how do we resource in a way that everybody wins, right? And they fulfill their own life vision within that. So we'll
I want to say this too, Adora, that's something I'm gifting to you. I don't want anything back for that. I think that is your voice to this world. That's your voice to this industry, and that's your ministry. Your ministry is what you've been through, and problem plus solution equals an opportunity. If you have the solution to a major problem, a multi-billion, maybe even $1 trillion problem, your voice is extremely qualified to be the answer to help young artists. So that's my gift to you. You just said something on accident that I'm going to give to you as well. Busting Bieber. You need to write that book. Busting Bieber. You said it on accident, but Busting Bieber could be a hell of a book to write to expose the industry.
That's right.
Very good.
I'm gifting that to you.
For that, Johnny. Well, that's amazing. I'm busy with the DIVA Network, but I will connect it up is what I do know. I know plenty of course. Yeah. And thank you for that, Johnny. I really do. But you see how the opportunity emerged, right? And so now some of you that are funnel builders, course creators, you're thinking, right? And so it's really about the connecting it up and bringing it together. I do love Busting Bieber and the things out in that really fire way. Stevie's voice is really unique. Did you have another question before I pass it to Eric?
I want to know what video game is that back there, because if you say Pac-Man, I'm gonna come over there and kick your ass on it.
That's my therapy.
Really?
And, I'm going to be.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah, and it helps your eye contact. It makes the relationship of how you go, because it's hard to catch that freaking guy. It's tough. It's hard to get away. And that particular one is a customized one. I have over like 300 games inside that one.
Yeah.
So I go fast.
I'll come over and hang out with you one day.
Hang out. You got to get over 100,000. I'm
a Dig Dug guy. I'll get you in Dig Dug. You can have Pac-Man.
Okay, we got to do a competition. We got to do it.
All right, man. I'm done. Thanks, you, Adora.
Johnny. Good to see you. We'll follow up on our combo. All right. Thank you. All right. Eric, Mr. Awesome Swanson, what you got? Welcome.
Oh, How are you guys? Good to see you. Great to see all of you. First of all, there's a saying, some of you guys will get it, some of you won't because you're too young. But when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Do you guys remember that?
I
Well,
remember that.
when Adora Evans calls, people answer. So just like Johnny was saying, right? So guys, my name's Eric Swanson. They call me Mr. Awesome because my buddies Brian Tracy and Les Brown called it to me a long time ago. Been in the industry for 25 years of helping people. And my question is this, Stevie B, great meeting you, by the way, and all of you, Felix and everybody. Look, I just want to take it off to, putting money aside and putting AI, advanced intelligence, aside for a second. It's clear to me that you are a human that cares about other humans. And I'm wondering very specifically, what is one of the biggest values that you hold true to yourself as a human being, in virtues of awesomeness to help the world? Because clearly you're helping the world, and in more ways than you may realize, right? Because I mean, look at us, we're all divas. I'm a diva now. We're all
Well,
divas, and we're all in self-development. I created something called well, actually, this is kind of funny, you guys. I just ordered these stickers to put on my cars. I collect cars, and anyway, it's no drama, serve others, which is my tagline. And I represent, like, I help out fire departments and police and first responders. So I ordered like 100 of these, and I put them on my cars, and I give them out. And then I realized people are getting out of tickets from these. Anyway, it's kind of fun. So if anyone wants a sticker, let me know. But the point is, no drama, serve others is what I believe in. So I'm wondering what your virtue is. Why are you doing this? Besides besides all the things that we just heard this morning, what is a true human being virtue of why you are helping other human beings? That's what I really want to know.
Well, I wrote a book, and it's great to have you on, buddy. I tell you, it sounds like I love everything that you're doing. From early on, I realized that I was sort of like this spiritual kid, and doing things for other people, all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of in me. Nobody wants to be in heaven by themselves. That's a lonely place to be, in a luxury house, 10,000 square foot house. I got to tell you, that's the loneliest place in the world. Okay. If you don't have everybody around you, I'd rather have a small house, everybody around me, we're having fun, than have that big ass house. They don't swim in the pool. They don't do anything. They don't even know a tree. They don't know their animals. They don't know their grass. They don't know anything. I know everything about my property. I know my palm trees. They know me by my name. I know them by name. I talk to the walls. They don't know walls listen. And when they say walls listen, they really do listen, because once you come to an awakening and understanding down to the quantum and even down to the super quantum, everything is alive. And now you're going to know how it says, well, how does, quote unquote, God know everything? It knows everything because everything is alive. People don't know it. I guarantee you, you take 5 grams of some psilocybin, it will come alive, and you'll see the walls talk, come alive, the trees, they'll speak to you. Mother will speak to you. Father will speak to you. This is what I bring to the camp. If you're going to enter the rehabilitation business, because that's really what it is. Now, the self-awareness business is a business. Les Brown has been in it a long time. Tony Robbins has been in it a long time. But if you're not bringing something new to the game, because they've been around a long time, but these kids are in crisis. People are in crisis. Evidently, repackaging what has been given to us, let's just say for 10,000 years, has reached the head. People are awakening and saying, hey, what does Christ mean to me? What does Buddha, Muhammad, what are these people, what do these things mean to me? What does it mean to me, not to them? Now, in my program, I teach people how they are those things. They are a Christ. They are a Muhammad. They're a Jesus. It's not noble for me to go give my prayers to Jesus or Muhammad. And I don't think that's what they wanted me to do. Any guru wants to pass on what they have to the student. So if you ask me what I want to do, I'm the guru now. I can represent Christ, Muhammad, Moses. I can go up to anybody and tell them Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Eu falo português, eu espanhol. I can speak to them in any language, anywhere, and I can show them how they're connected to everything in this universe, not just to their cute little culture, your cute little clan, your little Facebook thing. You have to show people how they are connected to everything, and then they will realize who they are, and then they'll awaken and say, well, am I a god? Yes, you are. Are you a goddess? Yes, you are. When God says he blew his breath into us, it meant it. We are the breath of life talking. Who you think you got? Who you think talking to you? It's the God that came here and said, it's Stevie. That's who I am. That's who you are. You're just pretending. We are memes. You know what a meme is? A meme is a pretender. We're pretending. We're pretending what? We're pretending until you can't pretend no more, and then you go back to what you was before. We came from God, and it says you're going to go back to God. And while we're here, act like a God. Have some dignity. Have some respect. Do your part. Bring something. He says, Adam, go and cultivate the garden. Eve, go and cultivate the garden. If you're not talking a new game, even in the self-awareness business, I'm not selling that old crap because it's not working. You talk to me for an hour, I guarantee you, you will be ready to scale the highest mountain because I'm going to show you that you are God walking. I can prove it. I can tell it to you from the highest galaxy to the lowest super quantum. I can break it down to you scientifically. You want to know? And if you ain't talking that kind of talk, guess what? I'm not doing what you're doing. Watch what I do. I'm going to show people down to the quantum that they are connected with the La. They say Allah. It's not Allah, a noun. It says the La. It's the everything and it's the nothing. It's the illusion and it's the real. Now we're playing the illusion for about 70 years. He gives us, if we're lucky, 80. And then you go back home and figure out what you did while you were here. God, goddesses. So we're divas and divos for a while. But you were God 1 trillion years since the beginning of time before you got here. And you will be back to God when you leave here and on to your next journey. This thing is a process. We've been doing this for gazillions years. You know where you guys were 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago? You want to know where you were? You were on your way here. That's it. You were on your way here and you're going to go back. Now, depends on what you do while you're here. You're going to determine where you go. God says man only gets what he strives for. And if you're striving for a little garden with a little grapes and you want to go lay down and hang out and have a barbecue in heaven, guess what? That's all you're going to get. But if your imagination is open like a God, guess what I want as a God? I want planets and universes. I want other dimensions. I want things that's not imaginable. I want the creator to tell me something that I don't know. I don't want to use my imagination. I want to use God's imagination. So when you get into the God mind, the God imagination comes alive in you. That's the awakeness. If people say they want to be woke, yes, you can be woke to get some of this stuff, but I want to be woke to get all the other stuff that's going to come. I'm 67. So on average, I might get another 15, 20 years out of this. You're supposed to be imagining your future. That's not going to be in this world, but in the next worlds that you're going to travel in. This is a journey. And do you know how long your journey is? It's forever. And if you start to teach people that, they will have courage to be here. They'll take advantage of. People have given up. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're connected to. Tell them to talk to Stevie B for about 30 minutes. And I will show you a man that says, I know who I am. What's your name? God. When God blew his breath into the human being, that was a God DNA. The breath of life is called nefsin wahida. It's called the rauh, the ruah. If you know what the ruah is, if you know what the nefsin is yours, the ruah is God's. He says, I'm giving you a shot at it. You get 70 years to figure it out. You want to play? Let's play. If not, Go sit in a room and die. You don't want to sit in a room and die. You want to live. People have been given something incorrect. That's why they're not feeling well. And guess who used to be in that space? I used to be down until I got that awakening. It comes, but you got to get the right orientation. Stevie B has a new orientation, a new system of life. And if you want to listen to me, guess what? StevieBworld.com. Check me out. Investors that want to invest, I'm creating an AI platform. Watch where everybody's investing. Look at what everybody's investing in. They know something that you don't know. And guess who knows it? Stevie B knows it. I know what they're doing. I'm developing an AI model. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm still developing. But if you want to know what's fixing to happen, AI is the angel that the creator has left us, and the playing field is level. It's for men, women, girls, boys, every nationality. Don't you know my AI speaks all languages, guys? All languages. And when I speak, everybody's going to listen, and I'm going to listen to them. I have a thing I told you I'm doing called Nexus LE, Nexus Life Extension. Stevie B going to make it where you can be alive forever, because I'm going to take all your data, put it on a website, and the avatar will be you. Just like I'm watching you and you're watching me, you'll see me 1,000,000 years from now talking to you just like this. And if Elon has his way, you're going to have a humanoid you can buy of me, and I can go to your house. You can buy me. I'll be at your house and do whatever you want me to do.
Okay, well, listen,
Thanks for your time.
we're at 12:06, 1:06 your time. Do you have time for a few more questions, or do we need to land this plane?
I'm on your time. I don't have, I'm on universe time.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you,
we've got a
Adora.
lot of
and
fun.
thank Stevie B.
As you can
Great
see,
meeting
guys, I don't talk very much, guys. As you can see that, I'm sorry. I don't speak up for myself.
All right, well, let's be succinct, everyone, and bring your question. Alora, let's go ahead and spotlight Alora. Thank you, Eric.
Okay, so my question was, I was told that, no matter that I've got great content, if I'm not on a platform where people are seeing me that I don't know to reach yet, that's the value of the platform. So like YouTube, etc. And when you say that Spotify is not paying, they're getting $10 for everything that gets played of yours. I pay $10 a month, but that I thought that goes to all the artists. So could you explain those two things?
Yes. Understand this very, very clear. Spotify is owned by the record companies. Spotify is owned by the record industries and investment bankers. Okay. They created that situation to screw the artists royally, because they're doing a monthly fee on the same fan that goes there for you. They're going to collect a royalty a subscription every month. But even if you get the free plan, they're serving ads. So they're making ad money to clients that want to buy in on ads. And if you're a free client, you'll know you get served ads on YouTube and everywhere else. They're making subscription money. You do the math.
No, what I'm saying is that the supposedly the pitch is that you get exposure. Like I wouldn't know about you necessarily if I weren't on Spotify and ran into you. Somebody wouldn't know about me on YouTube.
They don't do exposure for you. Spotify doesn't advertise you. You advertise you. Maybe somebody you might be lucky enough to get into a playlist, but I've never seen Spotify advertise me.
No, I want to really get the answer to this because it's important.
Okay.
So, to get people who don't know about me to know about me, I go on YouTube because they will find me when I don't know how to find them. So that's my thing about both of these platforms. I love what you're doing. I'm already into crypto. I know we want to go that direction. Everything you're saying, my slogan is step out of your story and into your glory. Step out of this human story you got about this, that, and the other thing. Step into the God goddess you are and be that and connect at that and change our relationships at that. So that's my passion. But I just got 358,000 views on YouTube on a thing, and I pulled it down because they were misinterpreting what I was putting up. So but those were people. Now I have many more subscribers than I did. So that's what I'm saying. The only advantage I see is
Wait
the
a second.
exposure.
Wait a second. Community. Did you, as long as we've known Alora, did you just hear she had a video that got 358,000 views? And
That's
then
amazing.
I understand you took it
I
down.
like to know what was on that video. I want to duplicate it.
Yeah, well, and she was perfect to go after your rant there, your blessing rant, because she is let the whole community know she's living as the goddess alive. But Alora, I kind of want you to put that back up, even if it's misinterpreted, because it got action and people looking at you. But now back to your dialogue with Stevie. I just needed to pause and celebrate you for a moment with the community. Maybe we have something to talk about that you took it down because you didn't want to be misinterpreted. That'll be for another time. Back to you and Stevie.
Let Stevie tell me what. So basically, the thing was, I thought the value is exposure. And so, how do we get exposure through your site to people we don't know? Because it sounds like you're saying people like us can put ourselves onto your site. Is that true?
Well, at this time,
Musicians.
this is focused right now on Stevie B.
That's
You
what I
will
thought.
be able to, because we're gonna duplicate the platform. The problem is what you did when you gave it to Spotify, when you got 358,000 views. Do you know how much money
It was on YouTube, Stevie B.
yeah, on
She's
YouTube.
not-
Do
it
you know
wasn't
do you
YouTube.
know how much money you generated for
I have no idea.
350,000 views? A
No.
lot.
I hear that. I want some of that money. But what I wouldn't
They're
have
not
done-
going to give you that money because you didn't cut a deal with Spotify. You put it up for free.
well, YouTube, but
On YouTube, I mean on YouTube. You never put it up. Did you call YouTube and say, "Hey, I'm going to put my CD in your store. You're going to get 20 bucks. I'm going to get 10." Cool. You put it up for free. You signed up. Did you read the notice? Did you read the blueprint of what it says? When you put that on this site, we own it. We're going to
Stevie,
make money
I
off of
want
it.
you to change this thing. I'm not fighting that.
I'm changing it. I'm
I'm
changing.
just asking about the value of exposure, like on Facebook or other places where people find out about me that I wouldn't know how to get to.
Well, you answered your own question. Look, that's the price you pay to be on their platform. They just so happens to attracted everybody, but a lot of people like yourself and others think that when they're investing in their subscription, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're really supporting the artist.
Yeah,
They don't know, a lot of people don't know the artist is not getting that money. And when they find out, they're going to come to people like you. You're going to come to me and say, "Stevie, can you build me your platform?" And I'm going to say, "Yeah, I can build you the platform. It's going to cost you some money, but at least you're going to have your own spaceship, your own TV station, your own radio station. You're going to have your own." Now, when those 358,000 want to view your stuff, now you can start spending your time now shooting them up to your network.
So
That's the idea.
EVB, to clarify, we get the lesson of the artists are not getting what they ought to get. But to bring Alora's question in, and so it's okay for her to start there. These 358,000 views were people she never knew, maybe just a handful of them ever knew her before. So it's okay if you're using it for that and you know what you're using it for, and then leverage them into your own system, your own course, your own program, your own, yeah. Okay.
I get that. So it's not, it's a both end.
Question is answered, because if you don't have any other type of network or any kind of avenue to get people, you have to either go out, put flyers out, you have to do this, that, and the other. You got to go on programs like this. But know when you put it up on one of the DSPs that they're going to monetize it. Now, Dora's here. She's not going to monetize you, or, well, maybe she is. She probably has sponsors or whatever else. I mean, she has to eat too. But
She deserves money from us.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're not, the people that went to see you didn't get any of the money.
I know, sweetie. I know that.
Don't be sad. I have one topics channel that has 875 million viewers. And Spotify hasn't given me $1 yet. We're changing that. I got a team of people that's working on it. Now, if you challenge them and go to them, you know, they supposedly will negotiate with you. So I have a team that's going out and doing all. So it's not all bad, but it's bad.
I
And you
get
have
it.
Okay, so a few things so that we get to let other people ask questions. Lorna, your community says you have some of your videos are getting 25,000 views on average and you're not monetizing. So JKN, I think her computer crashed, but she has a really good friend that we're bringing into the network to teach how to monetize on YouTube. So Lorna, JKN, Alora, get that together, all right? So that what you do have, you start to monetize. And then when Stevie B is ready for you, you can go that route, but there are also other routes. Okay, thank you, Lorna, our community leader. And thank you, Alora. Let's go ahead and Stevie B, of course, and Felix. Felix, do you want to run this a little bit? I brought you up and I haven't let you do anything except for
Yeah, well, I talked so much yesterday. I figured I'd just let
feel
Stevie
good. You feel good.
pour,
Okay.
and
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
You're good until it's
At
time to
some
play
point,
the music.
yeah, at some point, we just want to mention that the audiobook's going to be available on Stevie's website. The other thing we want to let everybody see is a clip of one of the brand new singles that is going to be coming out called
Let's
Como Te
play that
Llama.
clip. Let's play
Okay,
that
cool.
clip
So
before
let
we
me,
break. And I'm going to take a bio break while that's playing. Okay. So
okay,
Miguel,
cool.
you hold on. I can still hear it though.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and play it off my desktop. Hold on a second here. All right, this should be the clip here. My audio should be coming in. Can you hear that? Everybody hear that?
I heard that. I heard it.
We can hear it.
What is that? That's something else. Something's wrong, Felix. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Yeah, we're having a problem there. Let me check it real quick and then I'll get right back to it. Hold on.
Did you optimize your audio? When you
Yes.
share on Zoom, there's a button to optimize. You did that?
Yeah, it sounds fine. I'm playing it back. Let's try it
It's
again.
not coming out.
No,
Whatever.
did you click the button to optimize your audio?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
But let me try it again. Maybe something happened. Hold on. Stamp. Yep. Optimize for video sharing. Let's try one more again. See if we can get it to work. There we go.
Vou fazer uma coisa inédito, uma música inédita. Escuta bem. Let's go. Hey. Hey baby, señorita, don't break my heart this way. Chica, te quiero, I won't leave you. Please come and fly my way. There's nothing wrong with you. Say to keep you. Obvio, dinheiro! Bate na palma da mão! Luciano, dá um grito! Obrigado, Brasil.
Hey, Stevie, I want He's still here.
There you go. There
I
you
want the
go.
jacket, Stevie B. Come on. I expect you to ship that to me, okay? So I can wear it. No, that was awesome. I saw a mix of ages in there too, breaking it down on the dance floor.
Yeah. That was a Brazilian dance crew that was in there. But that crowd, I have a huge crowd. Younger people love me because their parents in Brazil listen to me, so it's not strange to them. But
I
that
love
audience is
that.
great. And that's one of the biggest TV shows in Brazil with Hook. Hook, his name is Hulk, but he's pretty big.
I like that. We're opening in Brazil, thanks to Dr. Andrea and also Alexandra, who some of you haven't met yet. We're opening the DIVA Network in Brazil. So very cool. Was there something else you wanted to show, Felix, before we go on
No,
to questions?
that's it for now. I mean, we have some new music coming out. I'm finishing up the remixes. We're finishing up the graphics. So in the next week, we'll be announcing the release dates, and then we'll be doing release parties down here in South Florida and other cities. So real excited about that. There's also a Miami concert coming in May that we're excited about. A lot of things moving. That's why it's so important to make sure that artists and producers get the rights and get the proper amount of money for the music that they release, because, you know, even a person like me that has been in radio for over 25, 30 years, now becoming a full-time producer, I don't want to get into a situation where I'm not being compensated properly and I've got to go get a second job doing something else. I want to be able to live off the craft, out of the creativity that I'm producing on a day-to-day. And that's the reason why it's taken so much time to build these platforms, so that artists and producers can get compensated properly.
It's the
And
same
obviously, you know,
in
to
the
the same
South.
deals, things of other nations.
Well, it's the same in the self-development industry, right? People put out courses, they put out programs, and it's one of the top things that happens. The same with Audible or these book programs.
Yeah.
So this is it's a global thing for content creators to bring back the words. And soon, Felix, you're gonna have your own course out. You're gonna be thinking of the same things. I know. So I also want to talk about collaboration. You're seeing it right here. Felix and CVB bringing the best of their worlds together, helping each other. You've been running that podcast together. Collaboration, the United Nations even is saying to get their 17 aspirational goals by 2030, the main one they're leaning in on is strategic partnerships and collaboration, because it's only through that that we'll be able to go fast and far and to get it done. So I'm always going to like put a flag in that so that you don't isolate yourselves, because creatives do that too. They get creative downloading and isolating, and then you end up going alone, right? And so we want to have that balance. Okay, Abigail, your question. The book will be on CVB World. It'll be coming out soon, Felix?
Yes.
Was
Yes.
asking. Okay, and that's where they'll find it, CVB World.
Yes.
I'll send out an announcement. Okay, wonderful. Abigail, your question.
There's so much going through, and it's my question. I got it. But man, you hit on a bunch of stuff. I bought my first record, Duke of Earl by Gene Chandler, so many years ago, and I didn't know y'all weren't getting the money. And I pay $21 a month for Spotify. Okay. So it's not just the one person. If you're paying for a family, it's more. And I didn't know you would not getting the money. And so you answered some stuff for me, because I had Anita Baker's catalog and then it disappeared, and I heard she was fighting for her music, but then she came back. So I thought she had worked out a deal, but maybe not. And so what I want to know is, because like we heard of Prince fighting for his catalog and Michael Jackson and others, I didn't know you weren't getting anything. And I'm so pissed at the record industry because they've sucked us all in. How long did it take you to get your music back? Is it still on Spotify? Were you able to work out a deal?
Still on Spotify, it's still on all the DSPs. And it's not just being on Spotify. If it was just mine and I wasn't getting paid on mine, there are over 20 different people that have my stuff up on Spotify illegally. People from Belgium, Canada, they let anybody put it up and they're paying those people and they won't pay me. So it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things. So the artists are not getting, I can tell you, maybe a few that's in on this on the jig, but I can tell you 99.9999 are not, and they're not getting that money. It's not just that money, but they pay all of the writers and producers and anybody else that's getting a stream. That's why Hollywood is a cemetery. They weren't paying the writers and the producers and the grips and everybody else in Hollywood. The people stopped working. They said that money's not coming. Who took over the movie business? Netflix and Hulu, Prime TV. Nobody goes to regular TV anymore. Nobody does that, and nobody makes movies. Look who makes most of the movies now. They took the music business, and you're watching a Netflix series. They became the biggest movie makers right now because they took all the money. So none of the money is trickling down. When you hear people got, Elon has $1 trillion, how does he get $1 trillion? And everybody around him is broke. Everybody in the music business is broke. They're broke. Listen to me. Hollywood is broken. The music business is over as you knew it. You know any recording artists? Okay. I'm fortunate because I own my own tour. I own my own production. In Brazil, I own the festival. I own the alcohol. I own the merchandising. I own the ticket sales. I own it all. And now when they want Stevie B, I don't have to go through a lawyer or an investment banker or agent who's going to tell me and when I can move and when I can't move. I know it all from concept to consumer. And even at the consumer, I could drive to their house and have dinner with them still right now today. That's how humble I am in this world. Because I know it's all, we're just all playing a little game. We're just having fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abigail. Dr. Andrea, let's land. We're going to have this be the final question. And
Thank you. Thank you, Adora and Jimmy and Steve B. And you're mentioning Brazil. I'm from Brazil, of course. I'm very happy. And
Oh, wow.
shared that your music has been the soundtrack to so many lives.
Yes.
I get emotional because that song that Adora was playing is just my, my youth time. I was dancing this song all the time, parties, birthday parties, friends. And that time I didn't know who was the artist. I just listened to the song.
Yes.
And then to be here with you today is just, I know, just to bring all those positive and good emotions. But my question is, if you could go back in time and give advice to your younger self at the start of your career, what would you say?
Eu vou falar com ele uma coisa muito sério.
Muito obrigada. I love it. Speak my language.
Eu falei com ele, ele tem que ter paciência.
He needs to have patience. I'm speaking to him now, and he needs to have patience.
Ele tem que ter pouco de sabedoria.
He needs to have some wisdom.
E ele tem que ter uma visão correta. O problema, as pessoas dos donos da música, eles não assinam os artistas. Os artistas estão realmente adivinhando toda hora.
Trying to summarize, he's saying that he needs to have that correct vision of the future, so they will know how to do all the deals in the music industry, because as his younger self didn't know, this would be very important.
This is the problem is,
Thank you.
This is what the record company said to me when I was suing them. I said, why did you do that to me? And I'm going to be straight up. And I've said, and he says, it wasn't my fucking business to teach you the music business. Because if you know the music business, you don't come to me. Excuse my French, ladies. And that's what the guy told me. Wow. And I got to tell you, he says, this wasn't my business. It's not their business to give you all the trade secrets. They're not going to give them to you. But the problem is now the cat is out of the bag. So what I would tell my younger self, look, I didn't have the resources back then to get it into those places, because see, you think you're just talking to the record company guy and say, hey, treat me well. No, it treat me well to get on the radio station. But you didn't know the radio station was corrupt too. They were taking payola. Those records you hear on the radio, they're not there because people love them. They love them, but they were paid for. There's payola, there's crookedness, there's underhandedness. Deals are being made. Your record got in the store. Don't you know your record can't get in that store without somebody paying? Don't you know you pay for positioning to be in the grocery store? When you walk into Publix or the grocery store, somebody paid for that spot to be up front. You pay for, don't you know all that groceries in that store? The grocery store don't own it. Somebody pays for that space. Kellogg's, Rice Krispies, Orange Soda, Tropical, they pay for that space. Every department store. Don't you know everything in there is rented out by Chanel, Gucci, all that? That's not owned by Macy's. Macy's rents that out. That's a big flea market. People don't know. You see? Now you got maybe your independent stores, but the big department stores. So the record business is like that too. Every one of those networks and avenues that you had to go to get a record put on. The radio station. We didn't know. But we know now. So what do I do now? I call Felix. Felix calls the guy. He's the salesperson for that station. I call him. Now, look, to have some luck, your record it has to be good. You start off with a great product, but I guarantee you 70% of them, 80, even higher, are paid for. Even if it's good, it's going to get paid for. Even if it's good, they're going to say, you're going to pay more because you're going to make money. So they say, we want more money from you. It's good and you got money. That's what record labels brought to the artists. That's what the investment bankers are bringing to the camp. You get on a playlist in Spotify because somebody spent a lot of money to get on that playlist to get to 50 million or 100 million people. They get a piece of their action. But
which is all good if the artist also gets paid, because everyone is exchanging their value, just like you know how to help someone through their marriage, or you know how to help someone do their taxes, or you know how to help someone. You ought to be paid. The corruption is whenever it is an imbalance and the artist giving the value isn't being paid and being cut out of even being paid at all. And like you said, you didn't know, but now the field has been leveled. So it's going to be who you know that gives you access to that.
And it's going to be a minute to get this untangled. Listen, even if you had a good lawyer, don't you know all the lawyers have been put on retainer by the major record companies? So even if you had a case against Sony, you go to the top lawyer, he says, I can't represent you. Why? Because Sony has me on retainer, so I can't represent your interests, even if you're a victim. So most attorneys, if they're worth their weight in gold, have already been retained, and these people know it. So you get all the best. You put up on it, and that's the corruption too. Because that lawyer, if he works for Sony, and you go to him, he cuts a deal for you in the benefit of Sony Music. He knows you're getting screwed, but he can't help you because he's getting a piece of the action. They do keyman clauses. If the artists don't know, they put a keyman clause. And the keyman clause says what? If I bring you into the deal, I get paid for the life of the deal. What do you think those attorneys are going to do? They're going to cut a bad deal for the label? They're going to cut a good deal for the label because it's a good deal for them too. And who runs the music business? It's all attorneys, all of them. They run it all, and investment bankers. They're not music people. They're not people who love music. I'm not saying that there are no investment bankers or attorneys that don't love music, but they don't love it for all the right reasons. So we're here for the right reasons, but we're just exposing the wrongs. If you want to know about the music business, you call Stevie B, and I'm going to tell you it all to you. Now, I'm going to charge you.
Now,
I got to pay some bills too, you know?
That's right. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. A couple things. Felix, if you could drop the links again in the chat for how people can connect with Stevie B and the music and all of that. The second thing is, Stevie, when we open the Portuguese market, we've got to have you back on.
Thank you. Thank you. Você tem que me chamar. Você tem que me ligar.
Okay, so Alexandra and Dr. Andrea, you're our lead ladies in that realm. The other thing I want to do is let's leave on vision, because visionaries don't stay stuck in the problem and the what's not working. So let's leave our visionary leaders, driven, inspiring, visionary, authentic leaders on vision. And how do you want to close us out?
You want me to talk? Because
Yes,
I have
better.
to bring all that back.
Let me
I
say,
gotta bring some good news. I gotta bring some
Yeah.
good news.
let me say this real quick. 4 main takeaways when you're an artist is think about creativity, think about hard work, think about education, think about mentorship. Okay? When you're going to be a thriving artist, those are 4 key takeaways that I want you to think about, because the creativity standing out from what's out there definitely puts you on a different playing field. You got to work hard, because you could have all the creativity in the world if you're not ready to put in the work, and I'm talking 24/7, you're going to be missing the ball. Education, educate yourself, see what's out there, see the way other artists are promoting themselves, see how they're moving, see what kind of crews they're aligning themselves with. Mentorship, get with people that are doing it at a high level. It's all about mentorship. We all know that. Those 4 things will give you a jump on what the rest of the pack is doing.
I love it. Okay, Stevie, you wanted to give some good news. Let's go.
The good news is, look, the possibilities are beyond your imagination. Because if you're one of the lucky few, now when you throw your bait in the water, you're going to hook the whale. You're going to go spend, like Felix is saying, you're going to do the hard work. But you need to know what to study. If you're not studying AI, if you're not studying how to do a direct to consumer, if you're not talking about being your own entrepreneur, if you're not talking about owning your own stuff the right way and walk in there like a boss and say, I will not accept a deal that's going to mess me up. My mama done told me, my daddy done told me, my uncle done told me, my auntie done told me, Stevie B, Adora, Miss Price done told me, Lorna done told me, Andrea já falei, todo mundo, Kim done told me. Now either I'm gonna listen to them. Johnny told me, Ken, everybody, Felix told me. If everybody is telling you this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I'm not over here playing games. We're telling you for a reason. And I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to my kids too, because sometimes my own kids don't listen. Stop smoking weed. That's number 1. That's one of my first things. I was an advocate. I changed my mind. Stop smoking weed. It is not helping you. First, don't do drugs unless you just want to celebrate, but don't do them all day long, every day. They start smoking in the morning and don't ever stop smoking. You're going to be smoked out. Listen to me. Used to be that you take a medication to celebrate, and you want to take a little something to help you relax and all that, but not all day, every day. That's number 1. Number 2, you need to know and study the right things. Know and study the right things. You need to know what's fixing to trend. If you're studying something that's fixing to be out of mod in 6 months, why would you study that? Oh, that just came back up. How did I do that? That's good. Did you just do that, Adora?
No, I didn't touch it, but
It brought the thing back. So let me just try to tell you. Know what to study. AI is where everything is going. If you're following the investment trends, don't you know 100 new AI platforms just went online and they ain't getting nothing less than 7 billion, 10 billion. And that's a startup. They ain't even made $1 yet. So they're telling you this because they already know where it's going. They already know what's fixing to happen. The music business is over the way you knew it. These kids know more than you think. They know that Spotify and Facebook and everybody else is creating their careers, and you don't even get an ad unless you got Facebook, Instagram platform stats. The problem is with them, they need to know how to convert that into money for themselves. Where is the money? And when you get that stats and you get a little hit record and you know what to do, when you walk into the meeting now with Spotify, They don't walk you through the stream door. They walk you through the publishing door. They walk you to in the subscription door and the ad door, and they say, welcome to the clan. Now you're fixing to make some money. That's the door you want to walk. If they don't want to walk it, Stevie B is going to talk it. We're going to create it. I'm going to create it and attach it to the blockchain where everybody gets paid in that. When you do the smart contract, it's unbreakable. It's immutable. That's what we're building. I thank everybody for giving me your ears and your heart. And don't fall for the okie doke. You are the magic wand. When they say the magic wand, you are the magic wand.
That's right.
Magic wand. That's what you are. Everybody has something to contribute. Every one of us struggled to get here. Since sperm to the egg, to the zygote, to the embryo, to every portion of this, we've been fighting. And now make your mark. Contribute, be successful, and then when you make your exit, you say, I had a good time, this was wonderful, but I got to go to whatever the next part of the journey is. And you leave out of here happy. And sometimes you just get old enough to where you're ready to go.
Don't get there yet, Stevie B.
I ain't there yet, but guess what?
Slow
But
your
guess
roll.
what?
No.
You always got to be in the mindset.
That's
You
right.
know that.
That's right.
You always got to be in the mindset that.
Can I
Don't-
just say one thing, please, Stevie
Wait.
B?
ahead.
So you said twice that that 70-year thing, that 70-year thing was for the people who had sinned and were dying in the wilderness.
We different.
God
We
promised
different.
us
We different.
Genesis
We different.
6:3.
You are so right.
He
You are so
promised
on
us
point.
120 years, baby.
I
You
There
take
we
it
go,
back.
Abigail.
I take it back.
There we go.
Hey,
There we
I
go.
take
There
it
we
back.
go.
Live in
I
those
take it back.
120 that you want.
Yeah, what
so
I
you
love
Yeah.
is Abigail,
I take that back, Abigail.
Quickly redirects. He's like, you're right. I take it back.
I take that back.
120.
I take it. I'm taking all that back right now. That whole
Yeah.
set. I'm reeling that back in.
I love
You're
it.
so right. I'm 67. I feel great. Me and Felix go at it all the time. He knows when I get his ass on that racquetball court, it's gonna be a problem. He knows it. Now
There
he's
we
he's a youngster to me, but he
Yeah.
knows I go hard. You know, I just lost what do I lose? 60 pounds almost.
Wow.
60 pounds. I was 220 last year.
Wow.
But I made a change in my life. I feel better. And I'm like this morning, and I ain't even had no coffee.
Stevie, so one thing as you just finished and close this out really strong, you dropped so much wisdom all across the board.
Thank you.
Spiritually, financially, industry specific, entrepreneur specific, globally specific. Felix, you did as well. And I want to point out, just like he said, you are the magic one, whether it's AI, blockchain, music, president, decentralization, it's always going to be magic ones and ones coming together.
See, 11, we
It's
want to be
gonna
all
open.
even, baby.
11.
All even.
All even.
L even. That's what the word 11 is. L even. It's all even.
It
Meaning
is all
what?
even.
Meaning what? Balance.
Balance.
Him and her.
That's right. That's why we have him and hers in here.
This world has taken everything away from the feminine, and it's all male driven. That's why it's so screwed up. The problem is they don't even invite them into the church. They don't invite them in nothing spiritual. It ain't all even. They don't talk about the mother. They don't talk about God the mother. They just talk about God the Father. Don't you know? Even Jesus had a mama.
Holy Spirit is
Understand?
feminine and Aramaic
That's right.
as well.
That's
We
right.
could go some rounds
So
on this, Stevie.
my philosophy starts in the balance. That's
Yeah.
that's why it's the whole pie, Andrea. We call pies, when you say mish pies, right? Mish pies, okay. Minha mãe and minha pai.
Meu pai.
And that's where the word pair comes from. It comes from the pair, pare, mis penas. All of those words are connected. This world started in pairs, started in the divine oneness, and then it split off into a male and female. We're all just God pretending to be men and women. But that spirit that you asked me that I have, that's who's talking to each other. It just so happens I'm in the male body and you're in the female body, and we miss each other. That's why we have to get together to become one. That's the idea. Two hearts that beat us one. There it is. Boom.
It is solid. All right, you all. We could go round and round. We got to have you back. Stevie and Felix were with you all week. Look at the hearts you flew out there. Mine didn't work. Okay, that's all right. I love you guys. We
Thank you.
so appreciate the men that align with imbalance in women, and we're here to bring that balance up together. You gave us some great nuggets here.
11-11, baby. 11-11.
11-11.
I love it.
All right, come off. Everybody come off mute and say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gracias.
Love you.
Thanks, Stevie.
Appreciate
It's
you.
a
All of you.
Everybody,
Bye.
Thank you. This was
Bye.
amazing.
Awesome. Love you
Thank you,
guys.
Adora. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Love you, Adora. Thank you all.
Love you all.